Okay, we have started recording. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, दोस्तों. So, if you have clicked this video, you know who I am. And if not, let me introduce myself. My name is Vibhat, and this channel is back again with content. This time, cheap content. No poetry, no philosophy, nothing. This is a reaction channel now. Okay, this is a reaction channel. I am not going to put any much effort. I am just going to react and give my views now. I don't give a shit. Let's go. Yeah. तो तो ये पहली वीडियो होने वाली है रिएक्शन की. ठीक है. और एज वी नो दैट यू नो कोई भी नए काम की शुरुआत भगवान का नाम लेके करना चाहिए. सो सिंस we represent atheism here. So we will start with criticizing God, criticizing spirituality, criticizing religion for that matter. No blasphemy, only objective facts, right? So today we are going to react on liberal content. Yeah. So this, as you can see, this video is by a fellow liberal who whose name is Krishnan Rao something, and the title of the video is Atheist Javed Akhtar scores 8 goals against Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. So what we are going to do is we will witness all these 8 goals. What were these? What were the arguments that were given? And then maybe if I understand them, then I'll say something about it. Or otherwise, I'll just smile and laugh, and you're going to give me views. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start.
When you were born, you were not made like this, isn't it? You were so small. Now this much happened, how? So what you call as my body is an accumulation. Yes?
Is an
It's an
accumulation.
accumulation. It's just a piece of planet that you accumulate through the food that you eat. What you call as my mind is a heap of impressions which you also accumulate over a period of time. So your body is an accumulation, your mind is an accumulation. What you accumulate…
Wait, let's unpack from the beginning what he. This is the problem with spiritualists. Okay, so they will start with a setup. Any conversation, whether you ask them a question, आप उनसे कुछ सवाल पूछो, या they are giving a pravachan, they will always start with a uh, a paradigm that they have created. You know, so here Sadhguru says that he makes an analogy between how the body grows and how the mind grows. And the analogy is that from the moment you were little to this point, you have grown. So the impressions of society, impressions of the physical processes have occurred to you. And similarly, your mind has got impressions of environment and so on. So nothing big here. But this makes him conclude that body and mind are accumulations. Okay, so far so good. I don't disagree, but the only matter is this is a very non-spiritual statement. Why? This is a Marxist claim that you are your social conditioning. You are what your surroundings have made you. Whereas spiritualists have argued, उन्होंने आर्ग्यू किया है हमेशा कि आपके पास एक फंडामेंटल सेल्फ है जो कभी चेंज नहीं होता है, राइट? So here he is not being spiritual enough. Let's see.
accumulate, at the most you can claim it's yours, but you cannot say it's me, isn't it? What you accumulate cannot be you, isn't it? So you gathered your body, you gathered the whole volume of your mind. So what the hell are you? Never been looked at, isn't it? You're making assumptions. So your personality, your ideologies, everything picked up.
So forgive me. Actually, he says that okay, your mind and body are accumulations of the social environment and all that. Okay, so he came back. He took a spiritual turn, and he now says that since your body and mind have impressions and accumulations of the environment, it means they are not you. They are something else. You are something else. So he is categorizing between you, your body, and your mind. Okay, let's go. Whether these are true or not, I will not say anything because I mean, I don't know, you know, I don't know, and at this point, I don't care, I do not want to know. Let's go.
Everything accumulated.
Now, when you say that whatever a mind is accumulated, my body is accumulated, that is not me. It is like saying that as long as you can peel the onion, you are not finding the onion. These skins are the onion. This accumulation is me. If you eradicate this accumulation, I don't exist.
First goal. First
Your
goal.
thought.
So. Okay, interesting. So this is the materialist response. This is a materialist response. What is a materialist response? It is that the division between mind and matter, it is a modern materialism. It is not classical materialism. It is he, देखिए, so his question was that since your body are just accumulated experiences, your mind is accumulated experiences, it cannot be you. So you are something else from body and mind. Now Javed Saab says that this seems like saying that okay, this is onion, and you keep peeling the onion, and you keep you start saying that okay, uh, you start saying that what the hell did happen? Okay, okay, so you understood, right? So you keep peeling the onion, and you're saying I'm not finding the onion. The peels are the onion, right? So this is the materialist response, that your body and your mind accumulated together is you. There is nothing other than mind and body that you can say it's you. So it is actually discarding the existence of Atma, the self, right? What is my response? I don't know. The first, Jaggi Vasudev's, seems like a magical, you know, mysterious self or something. Javed Saab's claim seems more pragmatic and seems more logical, seems more simplistic. And I do not endorse mysticism over simplicity.
Your thought is essentially coming from the information that is already there in your mind, the data that is there in your mind. It's complex, but it is within the limited data that you have. How did you gather this data? This data you gathered through the agencies of five senses, by seeing, by hearing, smelling, tasting and touching. This is the way it's gone into you. These are the five instruments which are taking in all the data in your wakefulness and sleep. These five senses are not reliable, in the sense, if I touch this table, my hand will tell me it's cool. But if I lower my body temperature and touch it, my hand will tell me it's warm. So it doesn't say anything about that. It only tells me the information that is necessary for my survival. If survival is all you're seeking, these five senses are okay. But if you're seeking something beyond survival, you need to expand the dimension of your perception.
First of all, let's not, I mean, the first thing a spiritualist will do will try to shake your confidence in the five senses that you have. Only then he can control you. Now, if you think that you will believe on any other thing, then take a person, do an operation on him, disconnect him with his brain, and then let us see how he expands his personality. Whatever expansion happens, happens in your mind. And you cannot undermine it. And whoever suggests that that is to be undermined is playing a very dangerous game with you. Because then you will not have any discretion. How will you decide whether whatever he's saying is right or wrong? And whatever he's saying is he's using his brain. He doesn't want you to use your brain. From where this thought has come? Has it come from where? From where it has come? It has come from the mind. Even if you think that the mind is not everything, that too has come from the mind. If you don't trust mind, how do you trust this thought?
If you understand that after all you and me are mortal, whatever…
Wait. So, okay, interesting. It's allegations here. Okay. What are the allegations? So Javed Sahab says the spiritualist will shake your confidence in your senses, and they'll say you are not the right person to judge what is being discussed here, and because you only experience through five senses, and since these senses are limited, so you cannot answer or debate. You're not fit for debating on these things, na? That why are we in this universe, why everything is the way they exist, is there something beyond, is there an atma, and so on. I mean, dude, your whole claim is that I should realize, right? The spiritual claim is that I should realize that there is something beyond, right? And you're saying that since you are only five senses, you are not fit for realizing that. So you have to accept it. That is stupid, isn't it? It is like selling a product to me and saying that oh, you are not fit for judging how good or bad the product is. Just accept the product is good. I'm sorry, I can't. So yeah. Also, he says the Sadhguru guy says that since we are just survival is what you seek, five senses are okay. Who is seeking other than survival? I mean, dude, I have not met one guy in my life who is seeking something other than survival. Even if he wants something like, mental peace or, peace of mind, that is also part of survival only, right? This is not something beyond, oh my God, I want meaning beyond the life, so that will give me mental peace. No, that is part of survival. You want to survive, that's why you want mental peace, and that's why you go to spiritual dimension. If you want, spiritual side and spirituality, you buy his feet pics and all that. I don't get it. It's 3,000 a buck, dude. 3,000 a picture. His feet pics 3,000 रुपए के इसके पैर की फोटो बिक रही है भाई. मेरा देश बदल रहा है भाई. ठीक है.
we may do. When you understand you're mortal, naturally the question of what is beyond, where did I come from, where will I go, this is naturally in the purview of human intellect. See, if you are not given ready-made answers by somebody, it is very, very natural that every human intellect will inquire, where did I come from, where will I go, what is the nature of my existence?
Why we are in this universe? What are we doing here? Why have we come here? I don't want to comment about anybody else's presence, but Guruji, I know why I'm in this universe, and the reason is unprintable.
And the reason is?
Unprintable.
Unprintable.
It is a pompous question that why I am in this universe. It is a pompous question what I am doing here. Have you ever thought of a mosquito? Why this mosquito is here in this world? Why this cockroach is here? There is, as far as life quality is concerned, there is no difference between a rodent and a human being, between a mosquito and a human being. The only difference is the mind. And this is the difference they want to eradicate.
Want to build your own version of ChatGPT?
Oh,
Join us
damn.
for this amazing
Ah,
If
wait. So I don't quite agree with Javed Sabir. What he says that to ask why I am here, what is the meaning of life, is a pompous question. Uh, yeah, that is true. And to reply his question, have you ever thought why the mosquito is here? Why I should think about that? The mosquito, who knows? The mosquito might think he's sitting here sucking my blood and he's thinking, why am I doing all this? Why he might be thinking, I don't know. you know, okay, I get it. He doesn't have that much of brain capacity. But I believe, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand enough to form an opinion. But I believe that over evolution, we have gathered brain, brain capacity, so much so that we can unravel a lot of secrets of the universe. This gives us push to think further. So this seems like there are a lot many questions that we can think that have actually no answers, no visible, verifiable answers that we can verify in a lab, right? So there's a शेर एक शेर है समझ सके तो समझ जिंदगी की उलझन को जवाब उतने नहीं हैं सवाल जितने सारे हैं you know so there are a lot many questions and there are not enough answers you know so but to say that the question itself is pompous discredits the whole lineage of philosophy na? From Socrates to Plato to Aristotle to Aquinas इतने साल की जो लेगेसी है वेस्टर्न फिलोसफी की इंडियन फिलोसफी की उसको आप डिस्क्रेडिट कर दे रहे हो ना टू से दैट ह्यूमंस आर pompous to ask this question is not right. I mean, it is a matter of great human intelligence that they have come up with this question, but unfortunately, this question has no answer. This question had debates that why are you searching meaning? Why meaning is so important to you? What is in there in your mind that makes you question things, right? So, yeah, I mean, I disagree with Jalsa, but he's the most, you know, rational person in this panel. So, uh, even disagreement will lead to something fruitful and not like some word salad that this guy is going to put in front of us.
if I tell somebody, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that, they will not do that. They'll anyway continue to do it or other kinds of compulsions will take them over. But if you teach them a method through which they're able to manage the chemistry of who they are, today there is substantial medical and scientific evidence, it is no more belief system. There is
What?
substantial scientific and medical evidence.
Okay.
Today, research has gone into the University of California, has done an enormous research on the simple Shambhavi Mahamudra, the basic practice that we teach. 3 months of practice, the neuronal rejuvenation in your brain is 241% more than the average, okay? There are any number of things like this. Now, the chemical soup that you are, you can either make it very blissful or miserable. So if you are blissful by your own nature, then all the compulsiveness will naturally drop.
I really find it highly amusing. It's very interesting that it is in religion, it is in spirituality. The moment they find something in science which is compatible, they start respecting science. They say, look, now even the science has accepted it. But the moment science is opposing them, then it is not credible at all. And he said very rightly, and I totally agree with him, that you should be humble enough to accept that there are many things that you don't know. And only then you will search. What is wrong with religions? That they know everything. They can tell you how to make a universe in 4 easy lessons. They will tell you where were you were before you were born and where will you go after your death and so on. So they have all the answers. That is the problem.
Yes and no. I mean, dude, come on. So first of all, what Jaggi does is putting facts. I'm putting facts, guys. I'm putting facts that these are the benefits of Sambhavi Mudra or something like that, and some on something on your brain or something like that. To which I think there might be. There's nothing spiritual about it. It is you close your eyes, you there are some ways in which this is the whole field of psychosomatism, right? That you do changes in your physical body, and there are changes in your mind, and then your mind changes, and then your body changes. There is a feedback loop between your body and your mind, right? It might be scientific, and there is a possibility that ancient people who came up with this Shambhavi Mudra or something like that, meditation, they didn't realize the science behind it, but they, heuristically got an idea that, okay, this helps, right? So heuristic judgment would have prevailed, and they came up with this mudra. And now this all magical spiritualism around it, that this does that, that is all bullshit. It is purely scientific. It's just you understood your brain better, and you do things to your brain, and it works, right? There's nothing magical about it. Okay, so first thing first. Second, Javed साहब's claim that okay, जब भी science कुछ favorable बात कर देता है, then they start supporting science. This is very symptomatic of all the religious people, all the most of the religious people. I know some religious people who are intelligent. Uh, you know, uh, most of the religious people, most of the spiritual people. Uh, they have a very love-hate relation with science, because they use science, they have science in their lives, but they have some kind of father issues with science. They have this parent that they don't like. They want some ancient ancestor of theirs, some fascination, Oedipal complex, with that ancestor. They like their grandfather more, they like religion more. So interesting. So what he says that with second claim, Javasaf says that so religion has this weird habit of uh, patronizing science, which I agree. And second thing is religion has this weird habit of you know what did he say? At last he said, "Huh." So claiming to be the know it all, that I know everything. I am that Rajpal Yadav meme. I know. मुझे आता है, मुझे आता है. So, yeah, so that is true. That is true. There might be some benefits of meditation, some actions devised by these people, and there's nothing magical about it. These are some methods that the heuristic brain comes up with much before the cognitive brain catches up. That's all. There are some methods that You don't have an explanation for it when you discovered it, but now you explained it through brain mapping and all that, right? Okay, another goal. Is it fifth goal? Sixth goal.
What is faith? And what is the difference between faith and belief? I believe I am in Goa. I believe there is a place called North Pole. I believe that Ethiopia is a poor country. I believe that Germany is a rich country. Is it my faith? Why it is not my faith? I'll tell you why it is not my faith and why it is my belief, because it is reasonable. Anything, any belief which is devoid of logic, reason, rational, evidence, witness, that is faith. Anything which is devoid of all the logic, all the reason, all the ration, all the witness, all the evidence, that is faith. And I really wondered what is the difference between faith and stupidity, because that is, it has, stupidity has the same definition. I am willing to.
Okay, so unfortunately, there is some merit to what he's saying, but I do not fully agree with it, and there is a reason. Okay, so he divides faith and belief. Okay, he says belief is reasonable, and that's why belief is justified. You believe that there is a North Pole because there is, the shape of the Earth, the forces acting on it. So it's natural to deduce that there must be a South Pole and a North Pole. Okay, and faith is unreasonable. Good enough. You think that there is a God, faith, and it's unreasonable. You cannot argue for it. Good, good enough. But tell me, there is something beyond reasonable and unreasonable. I'm not talking spirituality. I'm talking plain, simple example I'll give you. Suppose there is a monkey. No, not monkey. There is a circus guy who is jumping. Have you gone to a circus? You should go to a circus. So there's a guy who is jumping on ropes from one rope to another rope. Now he knows that gravity is acting and how forces work, and he has experienced all that. He has practiced a lot, but he doesn't know the eventual outcome. He can only reason that since the next rope is there and I'm jumping and I have enough velocity, I will land on that and I grab it with my hand and I'll be safe, right? बट वो सर्टेनिटी से नहीं कह सकता है देर माइट बी एन एयर ड्रैग देर माइट बी समथिंग that will disrupt him. There might be a fly that goes in his eye and he goes blind for some time and then he falls. But what makes him do it when he leaves the rope and he's in air, open air, and wishing that he catches the other rope? In this moment, this is a man of faith. This man has all the possibilities. He has reasons that he can fall. He has reasons that he will not fall. And in this time of uncertainty, he is purely on faith. So to say that faith is stupidity is not appropriate. People, human beings, live by faith. You have reasons that tomorrow you will wake up and be happy and live a happy life. And you also have reasons that Pakistan will nuke you and your whole city will burn down, right? You have reasons, however improbable, but there are reasons. What makes you, non anxious and you wake up like there's nothing happening and live your life is faith. Faith in the international relations, faith in the democratic systems, faith in your neighboring countries. There is faith that on the justice system, that nobody will barge in your house and kill you. There are reasons for that. There's poverty in this country. This is a third world country. But you sleep peacefully because you have faith. So to say that faith is stupidity and to uh, keep a binary between faith and belief and reasonable and unreasonable is not correct. There are some things which are unreasonable and reasonable, but still requires faith. Uncertainty requires faith, right? To say that everything can either be a belief or a faith is false because there are some things which are uncertain and you need faith in order to survive, right? That's my point. So good, nice goal against the spiritual, but you don't need you know there's nothing about spirituality here. By common sense, faith is necessary to live. Faith is necessary because future is uncertain, right?
I am willing to accept belief, but it has to have some rationale, some reason. If you don't have any, you disarm me from reason, logic.
क्या आप वीडियो एडिटिंग
Oh,
सीख
what the
के
heck.
इस तरह की डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज बनाना चाहते हो?
नहीं बना सकता. I'm really sorry. Oh my god.
I just wanted to come back, Javed Saab, to this whole issue of the finiteness of reason. You know, we just saw Ramanujan, for instance. He was intuitive. He didn't know how he arrived at that math, but he arrived at it. I have absolutely no argument with the fact that reason is the highest condition of man as we understand it. But is there not space for something beyond our empirical understanding?
Of course there is, but there is no halo around it. There is nothing like spiritual about it. When you look at the fan, and the fan is running on full speed, you can't see the blades. It doesn't mean there are no blades. You know, when you think very quickly, you may not see the reason, but when you will sit back and analyze it, if the conclusion is right, then there is a logical step behind it. You have not seen it at that moment because your conscious mind is not the only mind. You have many parts of the mind. You lose a key and you try to remember, you can't, and then you're talking to somebody else, and suddenly you remember where you have kept the keys because a part of your brain was working on it. So, brain is a very complicated machine. Mind is the most sophisticated computer in this universe at the moment. So, you have to understand the functioning. If Ramanujam understood it, he understood it in a language which he knew. Why he did not understand in Chinese or Hebrew? That is not possible. Ultimately, what will come from your mind. You are nothing but your mind. And if that is eradicated, you don't exist.
But Ramanujan actually believed that the goddess was giving him that intuition.
Okay, so yeah, I mean there is a very good thing that he said that spirituality has emphasized so much and has mystified things which are maybe future developments of psychoanalysis, future developments of brain science. So, yeah, I have nothing else to say. I mean, he is on point. I agree with him.
How do you reconcile that? Would you say that he was somebody?
I mean, after all, he was a human being, so what? He couldn't be right all the time.
Sadhguru, before I come back to you, Javed Sahab, another function of faith is, in its refined form, not as religion, not as public religion, but as faith, can sometimes be the impulse for also the most noble of human endeavor, whether it's in
yes.
art.
There is no doubt about it. The faith can make you do wonderful things, and the worst thing possible. These suicide bombers are people of faith. If they would have been reasonable, they wouldn't have done that.
But equally, Javed Sahab.
So, faith is a blind power. Faith paralyzes your mind. And now you are capable of doing something exceptionally good and something exceptionally bad, but you are out of control. You can go either way.
What about the ultra rationalists, the communists, the Stalinist regimes,
They, no,
which
no, no, they are not rationalists, they are communists. They have faith. They believe in communism. I am not only against religion or spiritualism, which is the debris of religion. I am, I am against faith. If communism is your faith, then you are as bad as a religious person.
that's well put, sir. So what do you live with then? If
I think the problem of Javed Saab might be pathological. You know, if you have problem with faith, you're not being kind to yourself. You need faith to live by. You need some faith of good days, some faith of some optimism of life, right? Communism is based on it's a it's a bloody it's a revolutionary thing. It calls for a blood revolution and all that. But everything it asks for depends on a faith system. He's right. Communism is based on faith that one day there will be, अच्छे दिन आएंगे, right? There will be a stateless society. Everything will be good. There will be no class boundaries. There will be no class conflicts. Class structure will be gone. So it is based on faith, and faith is needed in everyday life. From next moment to next moment, every moment, if you want to live a non-anxious life, you need to have faith, right? So, that's the baseline. I mean, now he is going to say common sense. How to, I will live by common sense. Good, but the problem is that when there are possibilities that you can die or you can live, and there are equal possibilities of both. Common sense says both can happen. Then there is only faith that you will survive that helps you survive, right? To say that this faith is stupidity is stupid. I mean, this is just my opinion, right? Faith is an important system of looking at reality in human beings, unfortunately or fortunately, right? It is not about just religion. It's about religion, spirituality, and everyday life, right? This is the, how will Freud say it? Psychopathology of everyday life, right?
you don't live with a belief system, what do you live with?
Faith,
You're talking of extremities, but
how
what
about how about common sense? Will it do?
Yeah. So this was uh, Javed Saab said goals against spirituality. To which some of them I agree. I do not agree with him on faith. I do not agree on him with him on the uh, his statement of you are your mind. You know, I don't know. I mean, in that impulse, maybe I am in my mind, but then you know, I am not just a single mind. I am polypsychic in the sense that I am the same person who sets up an alarm and wants to wake up at 5 a.m. And I am the same person who switches off that alarm when it's 5 a.m. and the alarm rings. So there are two things that I want to do simultaneously, right? So it's a complicated debate, and to beat up the spiritualist is easy, but and it's sometimes necessary because they are pushing the world to a dimension where everything becomes mystified. So it's the need of the hour to call out the spiritual bullshit. But it is also at the same time necessary to have an open mind that, maybe, there is a possibility that there are things that we don't know and has merit, and they can be accepted, right? In all this story, I remind myself the story of the turtle. ओशो यूज्ड टू से, ओशो की एक कहानी है कि चार कछुए थे, नाव पे चढ़ गए और उन्होंने सवाल उठाया कि नाव कैसे चल रही है। पहले कछुए ने बोला कि नाव को मैं चला रहा हूं, मेरे वजन से नाव चल रही है। दूसरे कछुए ने बोला कि नहीं, नाव नदी चला रही है। तुम कैसे चला सकते हो, नदी चला रही है, ओनली मूविंग थिंग इज वाटर। तीसरे कछुए ने बोला कि न कुछ चल रहा है, ही वॉज अ फिलोसोफर, न कुछ चल रहा है न कोई चला रहा है, भ्रम हो रहा है, he was a mystic, spiritual. All the three asked the fourth one that कौन चला रहा है now, and he says, I don't know कौन चला रहा है, I don't care, मुझे नहीं पता, I will refrain from answering any questions, let it be, चलने दो, right? तो the other three gets annoyed of him. They say कि तुम बहुत ज़्यादा, you are becoming too smart of yourself, and then they throw him out of the boat. Osho says, whenever truth in its naked form has been said, everybody gets annoyed. Yeah, and the truth is, we don't know. There are limits to our understanding, right? To fixate on one thing and declare it as a truth gives us closure, and that's why we like it. But to keep these things open-ended and non-closure requires faith, first of all, and second, courage. So yeah, I believe in this kind of agnostic thought process. Okay then, so this is it. We'll meet with another video, probably debunking some other spiritual bullshit, uh, for atheism, some understanding videos, anything. I'm going to react now, guys. So be ready for it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.